How to spot and avoid scammers, a comprehensive guide. Scammers are becoming increasingly sophisticated and can be hard to spot. It's important to be aware of the different scams out there and how to protect yourself from them. In this comprehensive guide, we'll explore the different types of scammers, their common tactics, and how to recognize and avoid them. We'll also discuss useful tips for spotting a scammer before it's too late. With this knowledge, you can protect yourself from scammers and keep your hard-earned money safe. The most common types of scammers. There are four main types of scams that scammers tend to use: romance scams, advanced fee scams, business investment fraud, and investment fraud. Each has its own specific characteristics. However, all scammers have these in common: they take advantage of people's vulnerabilities and lack of knowledge about the world to make a profit. Here's a more detailed breakdown of the different types. Romance scams. These tend to be the most popular scam. They usually involve someone pretending to be an attractive person online before getting close with the victim through social media or email. The scammer then starts asking for money in order to travel, pay for medical emergencies, or help them get a visa. The victim is usually more trusting of the person and ends up giving them their money in some form. These tend to be the most popular scam. They usually involve someone pretending to be an attractive person online before getting close with the victim through social media or email. The scammer then starts asking for money in order to travel, pay for medical emergencies, or help them get a visa. The victim is usually more trusting of the person and ends up giving them their money in some form. Credit card fraud. The scammer uses someone's credit card information to buy items like electronics, clothing, or expensive furniture. These purchases are never sent and the victim is out of money. The scammer uses someone's credit card information to buy items like electronics, clothing, or expensive furniture. These purchases are never sent and the victim is out of money. Forgery. Counterfeiting. Scam. This scam takes advantage of people by creating fake IDs with a person's name and social security number on it that allows people to receive things in their name without knowledge that anything has happened. This scam takes advantage of people by creating fake IDs with a person's name and social security number on it that allows people to receive things in their name without knowledge that anything has happened. Ransom scam. The scammer will send the victim an email or call and tell them they've been hacked and need money to pay for a ransom to get the account back. They will give instructions on where they can wire the money or what they should do with it once they have it. The scammer will send the victim an email or call and tell them they've been hacked and need money to pay for a ransom to get the account back. They will give instructions on where they can wire the money or what they should do with it once they have it. Asterisk. The victim is contacted by a person posing as someone from their bank, credit union, online service provider, or IT department with an urgent issue and asks them to provide personal information such as password/username and PIN number in order to resolve the issue. Asterisk. The scammer may ask for payment for services rendered or request immediate payment with a prepaid debit card using iTunes Cards. Asterisk. The victim is contacted by a person posing as someone from their bank, credit union, online service provider, or IT department with an urgent issue and asks them to provide personal information such as password/username and PIN number in order to resolve the issue. The scammer may ask for payment for services rendered or request immediate payment with a prepaid debit card using iTunes Cards. The victim is contacted by someone claiming they are from social media site, law enforcement agency, another company, or their employer and they've noticed something suspicious on the account. They want this information in order to confirm identity. The victim is contacted by someone claiming they are from social media site, law enforcement agency, another company, or their employer and they've noticed something suspicious on the account. They want this information in order to confirm identity. What is a scammer and how do they operate? Scammers are criminals who use deception to gain money, goods, or services from unsuspecting victims. They can operate through a variety of channels including email, phone calls, text messages, and social media. Scammers typically employ a variety of tactics such as using fake identities, creating elaborate stories and promises of easy money, or leveraging fear tactics to con their targets. The best way to protect yourself from scammers is to stay informed and be aware of common scams. Common scams include telephone scam, with a promise of a free prize. You receive a call from someone claiming to be from your credit card company, bank, or the IRS. The individual on the phone tells you that you are the winner of a large prize and has your name on file for it. They claim that if you do not pay an upfront fee for taxes and fees plus give them information about where to wire money electronically, they will revoke your status as a winner. The caller may even have what sounds like an official sounding voice explaining this with language such as, "This is not a test call." People have lost thousands of dollars this way. Home or office inspection scam. You receive an email from someone claiming to be with the Better Business Bureau, BBB, property management company, local police force, insurance company, or other business asking for personal information such as a recent utility bill and telephone bill in order to conduct an inspection of your home or office. They ask for personal information by saying that they need it in order to verify your claim that you were not scammed before. The scammer then says they will issue a letter stating that you are eligible for compensation and confiscate your personal information. Police impersonator/phone scam. A person claims to be from the police force and says they received a report of an emergency in your home or office. They demand immediate payment via wire transfer or prepaid debit card service. The caller may say they are conducting an investigation on the scam that led you to call them, or that they are with the Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI. Common types of scams and how to identify them. Scams are a constant threat in our society, and it is important to be aware of the different types of scams out there. Knowing the common types of scams and how to identify them can help you protect yourself from becoming a victim. This article will discuss the most common types of scams, such as phishing, advance fee fraud, pyramid schemes, and more, as well as how to recognize them and what steps you can take to protect yourself. Phishing scams. A phishing scam is when the perpetrator sends an email or text with a link to a fake website in an attempt to trick the person reading into giving away personal information. Phishing emails often seem legitimate and may appear as if they are from your bank, credit card company, or other trusted source. The links in these emails often go to malicious websites where credentials have been stolen. If you receive such an email, be sure to check for any URLs mentioned and make sure that they specifically refer to the company mentioned in the email, i.e., www.bankofamerica.com is the correct URL to go to and not www.bankofamerica.legit. You could also search for a company on your search engine of choice to make sure that the email or text message was not sent by an actual representative of that company. Advance fee fraud. Advance fee fraud, also known as advance fee scam, is typically when someone claims they will give you money in return for a small fee, promising that it will be repaid later with interest. If you agree, they will ask you for more money so they can repay the initial sum and give you more money back in return. Red flags to look out for when dealing with potential scammers. Scams are becoming increasingly common, and it's important to be aware of the red flags that could indicate a potential scammer. From unsolicited emails to requests for personal information, there are many warning signs to look out for when dealing with potential scammers. By being aware of these red flags, you can protect yourself from falling victim to a scam. The email address you are contacting the person at is not the same as what was on the website and/or advertisement. This is one of the first warning signs that a scammer may be emailing you. If the email address was not on the website and it seems out of place, then they could be trying to steal your identity by stealing your information as well. Look for more clues in their emails, such as typos or poor grammar in their emails. There is no way for them to get in contact with you unless you are serious about buying an item from them and making a payment. This is another red flag that could indicate a scammer emailing you. If there is any mention or reference to what they would need from you in order to send the item, this could be an indication of a scam. If an offer sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Some potential scams that can catch people off guard include free products or services, such as free trials for companies and products and services. Be wary of these offers as they rarely exist, and if there are any fees involved on the website, then it's probably not a legitimate offer at all. Scammers will often ask for personal information, such as your social security number, to complete the transaction. If they ask for this kind of information, then it's best to end the conversation right away. If you believe you have been scammed or sold a fake product by someone in an online ad or email, then please report them. Tips for protecting yourself from online fraud and identity theft. Online fraud and identity theft can be a terrifying experience. It is important to take steps to protect yourself from these threats. There are a few simple tips that you can follow to ensure that your personal information and financial accounts are secure. These include creating strong passwords, using two-factor authentication, monitoring your accounts regularly, and being aware of phishing scams. By following these tips, you can protect yourself from online fraud and identity theft. Keep your passwords strong. Most people have a list of their favorite passwords. This is a common mistake because it makes it easy to forget or lose your password over time. It is recommended that you create one password and use it everywhere. This way, if you forget your password or lose access to any of the accounts with this password, you can easily reset the password on each account by changing one variable in the code, rather than having to create a new unique code for each account. Use two-factor authentication. Two-factor authentication, or 2FA, is a security measure that requires you to provide at least two pieces of information in order for your account to be accessed. This can be done by using an app on your smartphone that sends you a text message with a verification code upon login or logging into the website. These codes are not stored on any kinds of device and are usually sent out every few minutes to prevent any potential breaches in security. Some websites enable 2FA automatically when signing up for the service, while other websites require users to enable the feature on their own accounts if they wish to use it. What to do if you suspect you are being targeted by a scammer? Scammers are always on the lookout for their next victim, and it is important to stay vigilant. If you think you may have been targeted by a scammer, there are a few steps you can take to protect yourself and your finances. This article will discuss what to do if you suspect that you are being targeted by a scammer, including how to identify potential scams, how to report them, and what steps you can take to prevent further damage. How to identify potential scams. One of the best ways to identify potential scams is with knowledge. As a general rule, if something seems too good to be true, it probably is. When you are aware of what scams look like, it might make it easier to identify them in progress and take action. Here are a few things that could indicate that you may have been targeted by a scammer. If someone sends you a suspicious email. If someone sends you an unexpected text, phone call, or other form of communication. If you do not remember anyone ever existing in your social media sphere, example Facebook, who is related to the person contacting you for the first time. Suspicious emails are often sent by scammers and can often be identified because they often use questionable language and tell outrageous stories that seem far-fetched or too good to be true. For example, a scammer may send an email saying that they will pay $10 million in cash provided that you do not tell anyone about the deal. This is unlikely, and the scammer's email will likely have a variety of grammatical errors or typos that make it seem suspicious. If someone contacts you in an inappropriate manner, such as by phone, You should report this to your internet service provider or other trusted authority if necessary, because scammers use technology to target certain individuals. Suspicious feeling that something is not right, usually because it seems too good to be true. Stay vigilant and educated from scammers. Scammers are becoming more and more sophisticated in their methods of deceiving people. It is important to stay vigilant and educated about the latest scams in order to protect yourself from becoming a victim. Knowledge is power, so it is essential to be aware of the different types of scams, how they work, and how to recognize them. Being aware of the tactics scammers use can help you identify and avoid potential frauds. Staying informed on the latest scams and being vigilant can help you protect yourself from becoming a victim. Phishing scams. Many people are familiar with phishing scams, where con artists pose as a legitimate company in order to collect personal information such as passwords and financial information. If you receive an email that appears to be from a legitimate company but has a different contact name, you should be cautious. It is important to verify the legitimacy of the company before sending any personal information or money to them. Identity theft. Scammers use financial information to steal an individual's identity, leaving them with the bills and the hassle. These scams come in many forms, such as receiving a phone call or email from a fake bank claiming that they are calling to verify your bank account information. The scammer might ask you for personal information such as your social security number and password so they can verify your account. What will happen is that the scammer will access this personal data through your online account without you knowing anything about it first. In some cases, it may take weeks or months before you realize that you've been victimized by identity theft. Social media scammers are also using social media to steal money from their victims. One way they do this is by asking for a cryptocurrency payment in exchange for their services. They might promise to give you the purchase price back once they have your funds, but what will happen is that they will take all of the money and disappear before you even see it again. Be sure to check with your respective social media platform if an offer has been received before sending your information or money over to them. Facebook and Twitter have a verification process in place to help protect their users from scams like these. How to avoid identity theft? There is no way to completely avoid identity theft, but there are some things that you can do to help minimize the risk of becoming a victim. The most important thing you can do is stay up to date with your account security settings such as password strength, two-factor authentication, and email alerts for unusual activity. You should also be sure that your information is encrypted whenever you go online through public Wi-Fi or any other public access point. That way nobody can steal your passwords without your knowledge. Lastly, it is important to monitor your account activity regularly as well as keep your financial information in a password-protected file that only you know. If these methods help, please like and subscribe, and stay safe.